Hey students! Hey students! Today we're talking about what I believe to be the easiest major scale to play. Stay with us. Let's look at the fretboard diagram. What we're going for here is basically we're looking at mega shape and we're trying to find the easiest 3-note per string pattern that starts on C. So we're looking at the 8th fret and we're going to say 8, 10, 12, 8, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12, 8, 10, 12, 8, 10, 12. Notice the nice symmetry there. Makes it really, really easy to remember this scale. So here's what it sounds like played at a slow tempo. Notice the repeated note there near the top. So the 12th fret on the G string and the 8th fret on the B string are the same note. And I don't really care, I don't mind. I would rather have 3 notes per string and have that repeated note than have 2 notes per string there. It's just a matter of what bothers you more. But there's all kinds of fun stuff you can do when there's 3 notes per string, so I don't mind having it there. So how can you use this scale? Well, that's a really good question. As we talked about in a previous video, even though this is a major scale, it's really, you know, starting on C and ending on your high E. There's no sharps or no flats. So it could be C major, A minor, or any of those other modes that we demonstrated in the Unlocking the Fretboard video. But I tend to use it as either C major or G mixolydian. So you could of course have your C major 6th string root bar chord here. And it'll work for that. Or you could have a 5th string root major chord here for G. And the same notes will sound like G mixolydian. And you can move that anywhere on the neck. Now what I like to do with these types of patterns is explore some 2-note options. So what you can do with this scale is just remove the pinky from it and just do the first 2 notes on each string and it'll sound like this. Which is great. You could kind of go the other route there, and if you removed sort of the bottom notes and just did the 2nd and 3rd note on each string, it would sound like this. So it's just 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12 all the way down. It's not going to sound really great like that. It's just going to kind of depend on how you're using it, but those notes aren't the cool notes usually, if that makes sense. I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. Here's an example of the scale used over some music. We're aiming for G mixolydian here, but there's a tiny little B flat note in there just for some extra seasoning. If you're new to soloing or improvisation, you're going to want to beware of scales with lots of notes in them. In other words, this is a 7-note scale. Not all of those notes are going to be useful in driving your soloing narrative. So this is why guitar players like pentatonic scales so much, is because they discard some of those riskier notes. There's a really great series of videos by a guy named Dave Brewster. I'm going to stick a link up here. I urge you to check out his videos on pentatonic scales because they are excellent. That's it for this one. Hope you liked it. Go forth, practice, have fun. See you in the next one.